All right, guys, back to work tonight. Hope you had a fantastic Wednesday, but it's about that time of day again, right? Time to get back to work, getting ready for Thursday's trading session, the first day of the month. Got a bunch of ranges on the charts tonight. If you guys know me, you know how much I love range-bound markets. There are a lot of great trades setting up for tomorrow, and of course, I'm going to cover all my favorite trades in tonight's video. That way, you have a game plan to make some money on Thursday. Before we jump in and get this party going tonight, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I don't want you to miss tomorrow night's video upload. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor. Will you hit that like button for me? I appreciate you guys supporting this YouTube channel. But enough of the intro, right? Let's get ready for Thursday. Where's the easy money coming on Thursday? Where's the low-hanging fruit? Where's the low risk, high reward, grow your account like a weed in August, right? Where's the best trades for tomorrow? Well, as I mentioned earlier, you got a lot of ranges on the charts right now. Multiple ranges on the Nasdaq and the S&P, and of course a range here on the crude oil. Ranges are magnets. So of course we're trading breakouts, we're trading fake out breakouts, we're trading failures. Boy, there's a lot of different ways we can make money on these ranges here tomorrow. Again, breakouts, fake out breakouts. So we're going to cover all the good stuff. I got some long trades. I got some short side breakouts to cover here tonight. I'm getting excited just talking about it right now. So tomorrow's a Thursday. Before we jump into each individual chart and talk about my favorite trades for tomorrow, let's kind of get in the same page here for tomorrow, because we do have some big news coming tomorrow. Not the biggest news of the week, but we do have some pretty big news tomorrow. The big news tomorrow is that ISM manufacturing index. We might get a little bit of some shake and bake there off that 945 PMI, but I would imagine most folks are going to be watching that ISM number coming out tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern time. You may recall, but earlier this week, we saw a month-over-month decline from the Chinese ISM manufacturing, and we've been seeing this thing kind of ripple from Asia into Europe, and we're going to get now the ISM manufacturing here in the U.S. has been holding up pretty well. We haven't seen that month-over-month decline, but tomorrow might be the first time we get one of those. That has potential to really shake these markets up here for tomorrow. Also, keep in mind, tomorrow, of course, is the Thursday before Friday's non-farm payrolls. So remember, professionals will be treading lightly in the afternoon tomorrow. Promise me you're not gonna force bad trades tomorrow afternoon. Save those bullets, because we've got some really big news coming to finish up the week with non-farm Friday. Ahead of that, my goodness, right? Ahead of a holiday weekend, ahead of Labor Day weekend. Don't forget, Monday is a holiday. So a lot of good stuff coming here. Again, ISM manufacturing for tomorrow. Save your bullets. Don't go for some bad trades tomorrow afternoon. And we'll come back and we'll talk about the game plan for Friday's non-farm payroll. We'll cover that tomorrow night. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night, and we'll cover the game plan for Friday's trading session. But let's make some money first for tomorrow, right? Let's worry about making some money here on Thursday. All right. All the charts are ready. Glad to see you are ready here as well. Now, guys, I'm going to cover all my favorite trades on the Nasdaq, the S&P, the crude oil tonight. Make sure you watch all the way to the end of this video tonight, because you'll learn something new throughout the entire lesson. I provide different trade ideas, different variations as we go deeper, and I'll give you more of the good stuff all the way to the end. So I'll give you reason to stick around all the way to the end. Why don't we grab the Nasdaq first? Let's go Nasdaq, S&P, and crude oil. Keep in mind, obviously, the Nasdaq and the Nasdaq and the S&P are pretty similar. So everything I talk about in the Nasdaq can pretty much be applied to the S&P and vice versa. So Nasdaq, the micro Nasdaq, the QQQs. Don't forget, this is a 4,000 tick chart. I get a lot of questions about time frames. You can see all the time frames in the upper left-hand corner. So how do we make some money on this NASDAQ for tomorrow? Well, first of all, there's two key insights that are kind of leading us in the direction of how to make some money on this stuff. The first one, of course, is a bear bias, right? The bear bias, of course, tells us that, if possible, I'd like to be a seller right now. Now, there's a lot of ranges here, so we can definitely be a buyer and a seller on this tomorrow. But, if somebody put a gun to my head and said you can only trade one direction tomorrow, I'd probably wait for the short side. That is where the overall direction is going right now. But you'll see here in a moment, though, the two ranges, right? We got two ranges, one range here, one range here. We saw ranges like this earlier this week, if you recall. We saw multiple ranges like this earlier this week. And what does that really mean? What does multiple ranges really mean? Well, think of it like one big range, right? Think of it like one big range, basically. You know what I mean? So two ranges get blended together, and the market's going to rotate back and forth. And so the kind of the goal of this is buyers, of course, can look for a rotation coming off of that low, and then sellers will pick it up and they'll look for the move back down again, right? So again, buyers try to come in and buy off the low, take some profit at the high. Sellers, of course, will come in and try to sell it back down off of that high. Now, you could also imagine too, with those trading ranges, the bears right now, right? They want a breakout. You know, they want to get a breakout going lower below that prior low of day, which has been a big part of our analysis over the last couple of days. So bears would love to get a breakout going lower. They've got some levels waiting down here at 12.072 is their next level going lower. And of course, if we do get that rotation going higher here, right? If the bears can't hold this and bring it back down, there's potential this market may break out and go higher, and of course take out the last week's close, which becomes very common towards the end of the week. And of course, we have levels overhead there, 12.605, 12.658 for some objectives there for those buyers. So we're sitting right now at the low of this trading range, and usually markets will rotate from above to the low, above, back and forth like that. So I'm going to cover the breakouts going lower here in a second, right? We'll cover those in a moment. But right now, though, why don't we talk about if this market rotates higher? Because in all reality, that's what logically will happen next year. And let's talk about, can I buy it? Can I sell it? Right? What's the best way for us to kind of make some money on this? First of all, as the market's going higher here right now, there are really two ways to buy this thing going higher. You want to be careful though, because we definitely have some swing highs up here, and you can imagine that bears will be coming in, and you know, bears may come in and try to hold the top of that channel. So you really got to get a little bit through that area before we can kind of start really looking to be a buyer here as the price goes higher. There are really two basic patterns I think that will work great as the market goes higher. The first one is my favorite dance move, that pop and grind. We've been fun in the comment section on that. Let's say we do pop up here. The bears are unable to hold off that high now, and now we begin to kind of grind going higher. If we pop back to these highs and we start to kind of float higher, that's usually a sign now the bears over here are walking away, and when that happens, I can draw a trend line off those highs. I can draw a trend line off that low. See how I do that? I kind of make these little hidden channels, as I call them. And then what I'll do is find some of these prior swings. And the goal of this is to get underneath a prior swing, get underneath the 21 moving average. I can look for a trap setup below a prior swing. I can rope in some of the bears, try to sell off the moving average, and I can use their stops as fuel. So we call these traps, we call these failures. Ultimately, we want to trap sellers and use their stops as fuel for a run back up to retest the high. And I'll tell you, if you have an extra contract on that, a lot of our students right now are using micro contracts right now because it allows them to leave a couple more targets. That last week's close up there at 559. Remember, as we get towards the end of the week, we start looking back at last week's close and they become very sticky price targets. So keep an eye on that pop and grind move going higher and grab that first test. Another one would be a move going higher, the moving average comes over, the buyers pull back, and they jump off that moving average. Now, this is one we've got to time this properly because we're not going to want to get into stuff up into these highs, right? Because that's where we expect more bears to come in. I'm going to draw a trend line off that high. I'm going to find a channel off that low, and I'm looking for a trap below a prior swing. You get the point, right? Trapping the bears below the moving average, and we can stop them out, right? And use those stops as fuel. Again, get into that stuff before you reach these highs up here. That'll be be the much easier game plan. And then, of course, try to leave that runner up to last week's close. Those are two ways I'd like to buy this as it goes higher. Again, I'm going to talk about as it goes lower because we can buy it down there as well. And, of course, sell the breakout. Now, the big question on everyone's mind is how do we sell this thing as it goes higher? Can I sell off the high on this one? Can I sell up here? We definitely can. Let's talk about that right now. How do I sell that shallow pullback? Well, what's the challenge? What's the problem? The problem is the range, and we're right in the middle of that range. And you're going to see a lot of buyers coming in and trying to push this thing higher. What I have to do here is trap in some of those buyers. The easiest money you're going to make in trading is when you catch traders on the wrong side of the market. So let's imagine now the buyers come in, they try to buy once, they pull back, they try to buy twice. Watch for a trap, right? We call these a crown reversal. Watch for I call it a crown reversal. It's one try for the buyers, two try for the buyers, and of course we get that trap high, right? That trap high. Where does the bears want to go now? They want to go back down and retest that low. So again, look for that crown reversal, those buyers once, buyers twice, for that trap, for that short. In fact, I had some great emails that came in this morning, people who actually used that failure for that trap right there. I got a great email today from somebody on our free trading course who said, Joe, how about this one? 1, 2, that trap off the high, right? I know a lot of you guys grabbed that reversal off the high here, taking the stuff you learned out of our free trading course, which reminds me, by the way, I cover all of these setups. I cover all the traps, the failures, everything we're talking about. I cover all these entry patterns in our free trading course. What I'll do is I'll put a link up there for you in the upper right-hand corner. If you're one of the few folks who haven't taken that free class yet, if you haven't learned all the entry setups, if you're like me and you hate missing the best trades each day, grab that link that pops up there. That free trading course on our website will give you an easy strategy to help you find more winning trades, help you avoid those nagging losses, and most importantly, give you a ton of confidence to trade correctly each day. The three-step strategy I teach in that free trading class is perfect for someone trying to make the jump into full-time trading. So grab that link that popped up there. You're going to love that. You're going to love that. And that way you'll know what I mean when I say buyers once, buyers twice, trap them in and sell back down again. Now, what if we go all the way back to the highs here, right? What if we go all the way back? If we end up all the way back, now keep in mind, right, this could be up, pull back, right? We're buying on the way up there. Let's say now we end up all the way back up to retest the high now. Okay, that's going to be a really, really strong move. So in order for me to want to sell off the top of this trading range, I have to, once again, really kind of rope in the buyers because we're going to want to use their stop losses as fuel. So think of that same reversal. Okay, there's really kind of 3 ways, maybe 4 ways I can sell off this high. All right, so grab a notebook, take some screenshots if you want to. The first one is that crown reversal. Okay, this will be the first time we go up and retest these highs, right? Because again, it'll be very strong, right? Very strong momentum move, trapping those buyers who are foolishly buying into the highs and use their stops as fuel, right? Use those stops as fuel and we can sell it back down. Again, think of the other side of that trading range, right? So think about that same crown reversal, that same 2-try trap. Here is another one. Let's say we make that run going higher, right? Big, strong move going higher. They pull back now, right? They don't 1, 2 and collapse. They pull back and they retest the high. What do we always talk about? Anytime we see a strong move in one direction, we expect a double or a retest, right, of that level. Okay? So once we get that retest, now it's always mission accomplished. Now the buyers are all roped in now. Now I can get some of the weekend buyers, let them try once, let them try twice. Think about where their exits are. Think about where their pain is. That's where you want to be selling. Remember, it's a range. I'd like to short off the highs here, but with all that bullish momentum, strong move, let them retest. Once they retest, now trap in the weekends and then use their stop losses, right, for that short back down again. Now remember, at this point now, we can now add more to this. As the market starts to roll down now, where's it trying to go? It's trying to go back down and take out these levels over here now. Now, take out that trend line, draw off that low, find that high, look left, find those prior swings, and you want that first test off the high of that channel. Now, I'm obviously keeping it simple right now to keep this video simple right now. That could be any of the entry setups that you learn in our free trading course. Like I mentioned, that link up top in the upper right-hand corner. Could be a trap, a failure, a pullback combo as we make that run back down to retest those lows. Now, one more for you as we go. Let's say we run up, we retest the high, and then like we've seen a lot lately in this bear market, we get a V-top, right? A V-top. How on earth do you short those V-tops? Because it's so strong going higher, it's like you're walking in front of a freight train, right? So what do you do in those situations? You do this. You wait for the V-top because you can't predict them. You wait for it to kind of pop down and begin to grind down. I know it's not fun to let it go without you. Believe me, I'm with you on that. I think I hate missing a good trade more than I hate taking a losing trade, to be honest with you. So draw that trend line there. Find that new channel, right? And then look left, find those traps, okay? That's the way you want to trade that as it goes, okay? We see a lot of these where it'll go up, it'll reverse, and then sort of grind down like this. And so you draw that trend line nice and tight off that high, right? And you grab that first test. See over there, right? That's kind of the same idea there from earlier on today, right? First test off that new channel. So if you do see it pop up, take out that high, and then all of a sudden it gets crushed by all the bears coming in, right? That's going to be a good sign there for us to get that short going. Again, it's very difficult to time the entry up there when you try to short into those big squeezes like that, but make sure you wait for it to V-top, grind down, and you'll know exactly where that short's going to trigger off the high of that channel. I like that. I like that a lot. And again, don't be surprised if we do end up spitting up to that prior week close there for tomorrow, because again, it is the end of the week and the end of the month. Can't believe we're talking about the month of September. Okay, here's the big question though. Here's the big question. What if we go lower here? Can I buy it off the low? Can I sell it going lower? Oh yes. There's more money to make there as well. Why don't we take a look at that direction on the Emini S&P? Once again, the Emini S&P here is very, very similar here to the Nasdaq. It's a little bit different, right? A little bit different, but very, very similar. This is a 10,000 tick chart here on the Emini S&P. There are really two big insights on this chart. We've got, of course, an overall bear bias right now. Look at a 4-hour chart. Look at a 60-minute chart. And I try to follow that direction if possible, right? So if I had one trade tomorrow, the sell side probably going to be right the preferred side. But again, with ranges, you can buy low, sell high until you go blue in the face. And then of course we got two ranges here, right? The two ranges. When you have two ranges like this, kind of blend them together, and the market's going to want to rotate back and forth. So not a lot is different there on this, right, on this E-mini as it is to the Nasdaq. So we talked about the move going higher, right? We talked about shorting off the high with that crown. We talked about the shorts there. So we've covered most of that. There's that prior week close up there on the S&P. So we're going to keep an eye on that here on the S&P here. Now, how do I buy off of this low? Well, first of all, do we have any strong moves that haven't been retested? Okay, this is a very, very important part. Remember, if we go higher, right, in a real strong move, it's a very good chance they're going to retest before we get a good short off that high, right? So what I always kind of think about is do I have any strong moves that have already retested? If the answer is yes, then I can be a lot more aggressive, okay, with those reversals. If the answer is no, if all we had was a strong move down and we're right and we're sitting down here, I would say be very careful getting long right now, right? But since we have that move up and you can see that trap of that high, now back to retest low. What you want to think about in this one is those bears have retested that low. They've already retested yesterday's low. Right? So we've already gone back to that prior low of day there. We got some big time support here here at 39.50. So what you want to think about here as we try to go back down or back up into this big range here is you want to think about that sequence I talked about to sell off the high, which is trap in some of these weak hands right now. We don't need anything too special. We do need to get some of the inexperienced traders, some of the weak hand sellers. We've got to get them roped in. I want to see bears try once. I want to see a higher high in price and get bears trying a second time. Once we have those bears trying a second time now, and again, higher high, why? Because sellers want to sell high. Then think about where all their exits are. Think about where their pain is, like I mentioned earlier. Now, I would love it if we saw a trap below that low, right? I mean, that would be a home run entry, because now you're able to buy really, really low, right? We don't need that crown reversal because we've already retested this low, but that definitely wouldn't hurt, right? So if you see that, don't shy away from it. That'll be a 2-try failure. Bears are coming in, selling into major support, multiple ranges. We can use their stops as fuel because we're so bearish. We need some sort of catalyst to get this market moving in our direction. Once we get those stops getting hit, then where does the market want to go now? The market will want to now gravitate up into this area. What I'd like to do is see this thing blast and really get through these highs, right? Through that 84 high here. I like the idea of trapping in bears down here. Let's make sure, though, we get through that 84 high, though. So when I draw this, right, you're going to want to see it kind of punch right up through it, and then we can go out, find that new channel, mark off that channel low, right? Find those prior swings. Moving average comes over under a prior swing. Trap in some of those bears below the moving average and use those stops for fuel, right? So a 2-try failure off that low. And then as it, again, make sure you really get that pop through that 84 level. And then, of course, as it pulls back, trap set up, failure setup, strength setup. You'll learn all about this stuff again in that free trading course. So keep an eye on that to the long side. And again, that will also apply here now to the NASDAQ as well. As we go lower here, how do I trade a breakout right now? What's the best way to trade a breakout? Well, there are probably 3 different types of breakout patterns we can look for going lower. Okay. One of them is that always popular, that pop and grind, right? So we pull back, we blast going lower, and now we're grinding, right? And going lower. Anytime I see a market grind down like that, and I've given you some examples here on the NASDAQ earlier. Anytime we see it grind down like that, it's just a matter of time before it pulls back to the high of one of these hidden channels. We can find one of those prior swings, right? Get above some of those prior swings, get above that moving average, right? And use those stop losses as fuel, right? Where does the bears want to go next if we do get that short off the top of that channel? We got 39.18, 39.13 and a quarter on the S&P. And again, I gave you guys those levels waiting below on the NASDAQ. Or maybe they grind down, we pull back, and the market blasts off that moving average. What do we call these? We call these 1, 2, 3 breakouts, right? 1, 2, 3 moves. You'll learn a lot about those in my trade room. And of course, we're going to mark off that low. We're going to mark off that high. We're going to find those prior swings. And again, we'll look for that first entry, that first test of the high of that channel. It could be a trap, could be a failure, could be a pullback combo. This is a 1, 2 jump off the moving average. I would love to, but I can't sell that first pullback, right? You can't sell that first pullback. There's too much support. I know we're bearish, but we're at such major lows right now. Yeah, maybe it does work, right? The problem is that's not a consistently reliable trade. If you took 100 of those trades, you would lose money, right? That's always a litmus test. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. You will see bad trades work without you sometimes. It's the way it goes. You want to think about the odds over a long period of time. The odds are not very good on that first trade with a range right there. The odds are much better on that follow-up trade. And believe me, I'm with you. I hate watching breakouts go without me, but it's the only way you're going to do it, make money in the long term. What would be a third breakout pattern? We've covered the pop and grind. We've covered the 1, 2, 3 breakout. What's another one? Well, a lot of times too, you want maybe a breakout pullback, right? A breakout pullback. So imagine now we get this really strong move down, right? Really, really strong move down overnight for whatever reason. And of course, what's going to happen is nobody wants to sell low, right? This will be way too low to sell, right? Nobody wants to sell low if we get a big, big move down overnight. My rule of thumb is whenever I get to my desk in the morning and I see a big move down overnight, I start thinking about, okay, I want to see a deep pullback here. Why? To attract in more sellers, right? So where do we think that deep pullback might be? Well, it might be a prior low, right? It could be a channel low, right? Or channel high, okay? So if we see it really break down overnight, and again, this can also apply to the NASDAQ, we're not going to chase it as it goes lower. That's kind of always kind of rule number one whenever we see a big breakout going lower. Don't chase it, and really for the most part, it's very difficult to pick the bottom on those. I'm a much bigger fan of waiting for them to retest that low and then grabbing that reversal, that double bottom reversal, which I know a lot of you guys have made some pretty good money on this week as well. So if we do get that really strong, big move down now, I'm going to go out and start looking for previous, other levels. I'm going to mark prior swings. I'm going to find new channels, and I'm going to try to get this thing above the moving average. Once we're above the moving average, now it's pretty easy. We know we have a very strong move down. They're going to want to retest that low, and now it's a matter of trapping in these buyers, trying to buy it back up again. Once they commit on that long side, you know how this rolls, right? You know where all their exits are, and you can sell right into those stop losses for a failure. Grab that first pullback if you can get it before we go back and retest the low. Does that make sense, right? For a third breakout, okay, something happens overnight. I don't know what it's going to be, right? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But if we do see a strong run down, no, it's not strong, a big move down, okay? Strong is great, but a big move down, we're not going to chase it. We're going to wait for that deeper pullback. And remember the game plan on this. Whenever somebody asks me, okay, Joe, how deep is deep enough? I always tell you guys, right when that little voice in your head says, oh, it's reversing. Right? So it'll pull back. And again, it'll usually come back to some of these prior levels, some bigger channels. But right when that little voice in your head says, oh my goodness, maybe they're reversing, bingo, that's when it's pulled back far enough. And that's usually why that's one of the biggest challenges when it comes to trading, because right when it feels like a reversal sometimes, bam, that's when the big bears come in and they just crush it right back down to retest the low. Then if I can get this now back to that low, then this is exactly where, again, mission accomplished. Now roping those bears, right? Remember, the weak hands are down here. Right? Professional sellers, which you're included by the way now, professional sellers are selling up above the highs, right? The weekends are selling down here. Trapping those bears, use their stops, and punch it right back up to retest that high. Okay, a lot of great trades setting up here if we really get that big move down here overnight. Wait for that deep pullback. Wait, how deep? Right when you think it is a reversal. And if you don't know what a reversal looks like, if you don't know a lot of this stuff right now, grab that free course. You'll learn a lot more there. And then, of course, you can come trade it with us every day in our trade room. All right, guys, I think we've covered a lot of the empty spaces there on the S&P. I'm sure the markets will do something tomorrow crazy, so we'll fill in the blanks tomorrow morning in our trade room. Shall we finish tonight on the black gold, the Texas tea, the crude oil futures? Remember, oil is very much news-driven right now, so we do our best to prep our charts the night before, but a lot of this right now on crude oil is very much data-dependent, news-dependent. So we're listening in for OPEC. Today we heard from OPEC talking about how they see this imbalance. We've heard OPEC say the markets are broken right now with supply and demand. So a lot of news headlines coming out. So for right now though, we've got three key insights. Obviously a bear bias here overall, right? We're bearish overall. Look at a 4-hour chart. Look at a 60-minute chart, right? That'll give you a good overall direction. And so I'd like to be a seller, but it's a range in the middle. Anytime we see a range, you know you can buy low, sell high, right? Second clue here, second insight is that strong move down. You guys know how to trade these now. Oh, well, actually, you know the game plan, right? Anytime we see a strong move in one direction, what do? We look for price to pull back. We sell by trapping in the buyers, trying to retest those lows. And then from there, Do we break out and go lower, right? Or do we bounce and go right back up again and take out that high, possibly the prior week close? That is a very big clue there for today. And then, of course, the third one is that trading range, right? Ranges act like magnets. Markets love to rotate back and forth. They'll pop up, they'll rotate back down, they'll come back up, rotate back and forth. We've talked about this already, right? So at this point now, the bears may come in, they may break out, or we may end up slingshotting higher and breaking out through there as well. Get a lot of options there when it comes to range-bound markets. So a little bit of this is going to be familiar, right? We've talked about a lot of this stuff quite a bit already. I have that bear move down, strong move. So once they get back to retest that low, double check, no trend lines in my way here. Make sure we get those bears trying once, trying twice. Why twice? Because we're so bearish. We need some sort of catalyst, right? I can't just buy at support level because support level, right? In order for me to get a reversal, I need a major turning point like that low. I need signs of exhaustion like the 2-try rule. What was the third one? The third one was I need some sort of catalyst, and that's where stops come in, right? So target buying right into those stops for that run where back up to retest those highs, right? Now, once we get back up to retest those highs, then from there, do we 1, 2 back down again? Could be. Or do we hold that pullback? Back this up a little bit. Do we hold that pullback now and blast off the moving average? What's that called? 1, 2, 3, breakout. Mark off. Oh, hold on. Mark off that high. You got it. Mark off that low. Where are we going? We're probably checking out these highs, that last week's close. I want to find that first test off that channel, right? For that first test of the channel, always the best test, right? Makes sense? So again, we may trap in those bears at that low, right? We may get that rotation back higher, but we may not get that short back down to that trading range. All of that momentum, which we talked about in last night's video, as momentum turns off a range low like that, it oftentimes really spits and runs higher, and we can grab that new channel and grab that first entry or that first test off the low of that channel. And again, I'm keeping it very simple right now. I cover the exact entry techniques in that free trading course. So grab that as you go. So keep an eye on that turn. Now, a couple more things here, right? What if we don't go lower and we just run higher here, right? What if, what if we don't take out that low, the market just runs higher here, right? At that point now, again, same thing. 1, 2, back down again, take out those highs, trap in the weekends, back down to retest. Or we pop up, hold that pullback, blast off that off the moving average, find that channel and first test. Or we slingshot up, grinder, pop and grind, baby. My favorite dance move. Find that channel, and we're grabbing that first test there. A lot of that is repeating myself, so I'll try to keep it to a minimum here as we go, but I want you guys to kind of know where that's going, right? If it pops up and grinds through that high, right, all that momentum will want to, at the very least, retest that high. So you can grab that first channel test with a lot of confidence, take some profit off at that prior week close. Big tops up there around 94 as we go here. What if we go lower, right? You've got to really be careful buying if it really jumps going lower, right? So for example, right? Let's say, for example, we take out that low, but let's say now it's a really strong move down, right? If it's a really strong move down, remember, it's an overall bear market right now. If it's really strong going lower, what do we expect? We expect to pull back and a retest of that low, right? So what's the best way now for me to buy into a real strong move? Well, first of all, we're going to have to use a crown reversal first, right? So bears try once, bears try twice, and we get trap off that low. Why do I need a crown reversal when I'm trying to buy against a strong move like that? Because if you just go looking for a regular failure pattern, right? If the market makes a real strong move down, if you try buying high, basically, right? If you try buying into stops up here, because you have all of this bear momentum, there'll be more bears coming in, right? They'll come right in and run you out again. Makes sense? So the rule of thumb is the stronger that move down, the lower you have to buy right? You've got to buy really low because you want to already be taking some profit before the next round of bears comes in, right? Does that make sense? Can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? That'll show me who's actually watching these videos all the way to the end. By the way, if you're watching this video right now, I make these videos for you, right? None of these, can you make the video shorter, Joe? I can't watch them all the way. I get it. We're all busy people, but if you can't sit and watch for a little bit, you might have a hard time being a trader, right? Because trading's a lot of sitting and waiting, isn't it? So the answer to this is a strong move down, right? Strong move down. Bears try once. Bears try twice. I have to really buy low, right? Because as it goes higher, what's going to happen? More bears are going to come in sometimes, right? And they're going to pick your pocket there. So buy that crown reversal, okay? Now, let's say we do get that crown reversal back up again, right? We pull back up and the bears come back in and they punch it back to that low now. Okay, now what? Mission accomplished. Okay, now moving average comes down. All the big money bears are already short. Okay, they're getting out now down here, and now we have the weak hands, right? Now these are the inexperienced traders. These are the traders that can't protect themselves very well, and that's the time we can get a lot more aggressive on that move going back up. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That's a really big part of trading reversals in a range-bound market. Then from there, mark off that new high, find that new channel, right? And then grab that first test. Again, I'm keeping this pretty simple right now. You'll see a lot more examples of that stuff inside that free trading class. So 2-try failure, right? 2-try failure after a retest, right? After a retest, and then of course that trap, that failure off that channel as we go. Okay? Let's say now we take out that low, we pull back, right? We pull back, and this thing just blasts. Right? It just blasts and run lower. Strong move down. That's exactly when you start thinking, okay, let's not mess around now. Let's go out and find some of these bigger channels. Let's wait for that. Remember that kind of breakout pullback I talked about, right? We're not going to chase after it. We're not going to buy into it either because it's very, very strong in that situation. We wait for that price to pop up. We get those buyers to come in and foolishly buy high. Right? You know why we don't buy high, right? When you get the bear move like that, right? Because there's too many bears up there. If you're going to buy this, you're going to already be in on this thing, right? If you're buying high, you're walking right into a trap, right? So that bull trap right there is where the money is. We can sell it right back down to retest low. Once they retest the low, then we can start getting long, going back up to retest some of those prior swings. All right, guys. It must be late in the video because my scribbles are getting even scribblier, right? Get a little bit scribble drunk here on the video here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it though. Hope you learned a lot. Hope you use this to earn a killing tomorrow on Thursday. And speaking of Thursday, don't forget, I'm sure the markets will do something I didn't anticipate here for tonight. But not to worry. Tomorrow morning we're going to get together in our trade room, guys. If you're looking for a great place to learn and trade along, if you're missing too many good trades each day, come out and join us in our trade room. We open up every morning around 8 o'clock Eastern time. I would recommend first, though, take the free course first. Learn the basic principles. Get your feet wet on that. That way you got some momentum behind you. You'll be geared up and ready to go as a new member of our trade room. I'll put all the links for you right below me tonight on the video. If you got any questions, don't be afraid to call the office. I'm always here to help out if you guys need help along the way. I've got live chat down there. Don't be afraid to use live chat, and you can always drop questions in the comment section below. But that's it for me tonight, guys. Hope you learned a bunch. Hope I'll see you tomorrow morning at the opening bell in our trade room. If not, we're going to come back tomorrow night. We're going to come back tomorrow and do it again tomorrow, getting ready for Non-Farm Friday. Don't miss it. All right, guys. My name is Joseph. Be well, be nice to each other, and you better be here tomorrow, right? All right, guys. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.